Thank you, sir. You may be seated. Thank you for helping us see the connection between paying our taxes and ease of doing business. Because sometimes when we hear ease of doing business, it sounds like what government is supposed to do. But then some of us don't get to choose whether to pay our taxes or not. It's just deducted at source. Yeah. So the speakers also have their tents. Some of them have materials, resources where you can basically reach out to them outside here and also learn more from their works. The stands are located near the food court, so please avail yourself of the opportunity that you have here. It's a global media event, so please feel free to join the conversation on Twitter using our hashtag NGEconomy to tweet at us. And also retweet the things that we are also pushing out. Would help to take out the message even further.
No.
You're welcome back to the platform panel, and we just finished watching two of our speakers, Professor Abdul Ganiu Garba and Mr. Andrew Nevin. And I still have with me the platform panelists, and I have to correct the title of Mr. Harold Obasanjoya, the MD COO of Phyllis Offshore, of the CEO. Correct. Thank you. So let's start from the first one, Professor Ganiu Garba, who gave us a very theonomic, deep conversation that took us sort of back to the foundation of national identity and personal identity. What was your take on his talk?
Wow.
Okay, let's ladies
first. What struck me was that he really reminded us of roles as Nigerians first by breaking down our national anthem and talking about the importance of personal commitment to the country, the importance of unity and sacrifice. The role of our youth in building this nation and the role of the individuals we call leaders in setting the vision. I think that reminder was critical and it's so fundamental for national development.
Yes.
And the second thing that struck me was the importance of individuals really recognizing their role in shaping this country and the responsibility that it comes with it and the sacrifice required to transform Nigeria. And each individual, keeping aside our national identity, our ethnic, our religious identities, which we often hold on to so strongly, and sacrificing that for the nation, putting the nation first.
Yes, just like you said, we are compatriots, which is unity and oneness. And I noticed that you wrote down the national anthem.
Yes, I did. I was trying to break down what he said, but I mean, from my own take, really is. I think he went back to the basics, went back to the fundamentals. And I have, from time, I've had this thing about, really, society starts from the family unit. When any society misses that, then everything that happens after that is a symptom. Because when you're talking of leaders, when you have bad leaders, if you go through the history, you find out that the problem started from the home. So really, I think we need to go back. And we're missing it now. We're getting a bit wrong. What used to help African nations was that strong communal upbringing. We're losing that. Everybody that goes out there is a product of his or her home. And when you get that wrong, then there's an issue. So I think that was what I got from him. And I think we need to do because most of us are parents in absentia. And you cannot give what you don't have. If you don't bring up your children properly, they are going to make mistakes. And the truth is that those mistakes actually are. So really, we owe our children, proper upbringing and then to ensure the future. So that's my take.
Certainly.
No, I have to agree. The assurance that his conversation brought about the soundness of the fundamentals of this country. When someone takes the national anthem and connects it to the Constitution, you understand that it wasn't happenstance. It was actually more deeply thought through than most people actually realize. And he touches on the point about understanding being so important to get the results that you want. If you don't know, he said it, ignorance is dangerous. So people need to know the truth. And then we take our history, we don't forget that. So if we come back to what we teach at home, how do we understand what's going on? And how do people actually recognize this is where we're coming from? This is why, the context becoming critical to understand how to interpret events and then appreciate what is required to be able to handle them and resolve them. I mean, it's really serious stuff. I was blown away.
It was what a lot of food for thought.
Absolutely.
Correct.
And so let's go to Mr. Andrew Nevin. Very deep. How can we break down very intellectual facts, figures, numbers, very essential? But for the common everyday man watching, what are the take-home points from that presentation?
For me, the take-home point is that Nigeria is not a country in isolation. We're part of a global economy. What we do impacts the rest of the world, vice versa. What happens in other parts of the world impacts us. So the oil prices, we need to really think systematically about how we respond, how we capitalize on windfalls, and how we save and invest for the future. The second takeaway was savings. A country that does not save, where individuals in the country do not save, cannot progress. And Nigeria is not in isolation. And then finally, the enabling environment. He talked about where Nigeria ranks relative to the rest of the world and the importance of a city like Lagos getting its fundamentals right so that SMEs can thrive in this economy. So those were some takeaways from his talk.
Okay, fantastic. We have to get back to the live session now. Hold your thoughts. When we come back to the panel, we'll talk about that. Going back to the live session now, the platform continues.